right, welcome to EETF, episode 81.
Sorry for the interruption. Patrick is an idiot and forgot that the previous episode was split in 2 parts, so this is actually episode 82. Also, for those who were wondering, he gave me a British accent so that I would, and I quote, class up the joint. Anyway, enjoy the show.
My name is Patrick. I hope you guys are doing great. So tonight it is TV time. With me tonight, I have 5 regulars back with us. First, we have John Mutford. How are you, sir?
I'm doing fantastic. Thanks for having me.
Always a pleasure. We also have Mike Drew. How are you?
I'm great. Thank you again for having us on.
Always a pleasure. I'm repeating myself already. Awesome. Welcome back. We also have Kyle Hildreth. How are you, sir?
Always a pleasure. Thank you, Patrick.
Roger that. We also have Tony Greathouse. How are you?
Hey, everybody. I'm good.
Good. And we have Hector Contreras. How are you, sir?
I'm good. I like this regulars term. I like being like the norm of this group. Just
5 norms.
5
Hey, everybody.
norms.
Yes.
Supreme.
Yes. So let's get our drinking on. Okay. No, yeah. You didn't hear that. Okay, so let's start with John. What do you have regarding TV for us?
I will start with Black Mirror.
Yes.
Season 7. I always have been a huge fan of Black Mirror, but last season left me a little underwhelmed. I just didn't feel it was Black Mirror
Enough.
They didn't take the technology angle as much as they have in previous seasons. That was last year, but this season I feel that they have a return to form and some great episodes. The very first one with Rashida Jones is fantastic. There's another great one about artificial intelligence. Obviously things that are on the forefront of a lot of our minds right now. There's some more uplifting ones, but there were also some freaking depressing ones, but that's always been the case with Black Mirror.
I've heard that the first episode is quite depressing, apparently.
Very, yeah. And I tried to introduce friends to the series, starting with that one.
Ooh.
And they were like, this one's too heavy. I don't want to watch this anymore.
Yeah.
Like, what's going on? But
shoving them in the deep end of the pool.
Yeah, no kidding. Yeah.
Right.
I remember when I tried to introduce them to Black Mirror, I told them to start at the beginning, but I'd forgotten that it was that pig episode. And that was not the best starting point for most people, I think. Probably the second episode, yeah.
Whoops.
Yeah.
So would you recommend this season overall, John?
Definitely.
Okay.
Yeah. Especially if you've always been a fan, it'll get you back on board. I think the last season lost you.
I think I've seen only the first 3, and I don't know, like I dropped off, but something is telling me that maybe this season would be a good one to get back on the train.
I would agree with that thought, yeah.
Okay. Yeah. All right, sounds good. And that's on Netflix.
That's correct.
All right. So what else do you have for us?
I don't think there will be a whole lot of overlap with mine and everybody else's. With the exception of my next one, I will say Daredevil.
Yes.
Reborn.
That's my big one.
Oh, yeah. So I really enjoyed that this season. If anybody feared Disney was going to
Disney out on it.
Tamper down the violence, I don't think they did. It was very much true to form.
Not one bit.
No.
Not one bit.
And they just let the 2 biggest stars in the show shine, I think. I do feel the ending was sort of abrupt compared to like following the whole season as an arc, because it's an arc. It's over, right, for now, but they're having another season again, so maybe they'll pick up some of the pieces.
Is it, or is it, this is the one where they did 6 episodes, a chunk, was that last year, and this is the second half? Is that what happened?
No, this is their...
No.
You're thinking of Stranger Things, Kyle.
No, they were saying Daredevil was going to be in chunks, like, I want to say 2, like, not seasons, but like...
Yeah, Netflix is playing games because they're doing that with Wednesday, where it's like part 1 and then part 2. Ever since things have been non-syndicated and they're just going directly to streaming, they just have all rights to just go in any order of episodes they want.
As far as I know, it will be a new season. Is it in something like next March?
I believe so. Yeah.
Think I
Okay.
saw that.
I liked it too, but I would have two small nitpicks. I would have liked more Punisher,
Mm-hmm.
and I thought at times the pacing was a little uneven.
I thought the pacing was actually better than on Netflix. I thought each episode to me felt more contained and a little bit tighter. It wasn't. Each episode didn't feel as dragged out as some of the Netflix ones did to me.
Yeah.
Okay.
But I mean, yeah, maybe just because it's better than Netflix doesn't mean the pacing was so great, but just better than Netflix, right?
Are they the same length each episode?
Give or take.
This season's shorter.
I think they're more consistent. Whereas, Netflix was like you'd hit a 40-minute episode and then suddenly an hour and 30 minutes sort of thing, right? Whereas
Really?
these were all consistent.
Okay.
Did they all drop at once?
No,
No.
they dropped I think the first two, and then it was one a week after.
I always forget. Is it on Disney Plus, right?
Yeah, that's right.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
I've been watching it and the Netflix I'm on season 3 of the Netflix series.
Oh, like rewatching. Okay.
Oh,
Yeah, and that season, the Bullseye season, is so damn long.
Mhm.
It's good, but it drags.
Yeah.
So it's a lot more compact, like you said.
Was that
Mhm.
season 2?
3.
Oh, season 3.
Season 2 was Punisher.
Yeah.
Oh.
3 was Bullseye.
Now, on your comment about Punisher, because with it spoiling too much, he does a couple cameos in
Mm.
the Disney Plus version, but he's going to have a one-off on Disney Plus as well.
That's true. Yes. Okay.
Like a one episode? Like
Like
World by
sort of
Night?
what they did with Moon Knight. It was like an hour and a half, sort of just one-time thing.
just like a one
Just
show?
one show.
Or not Moon Knight. What was the one they did? Werewolf
by Night.
by Night. Yeah. So more on that sort of model.
Okay.
He's already had a series on Netflix, so
Yeah,
Mhm.
you would think.
Yeah. I
That's
think he's just too busy doing other stuff. He's in
the
everything.
accountant too.
yeah.
Yeah.
All right.
Movie talk.
So, what else do you have, John?
Okay. I've got Mid-Century Modern also on Disney
Oh,
Plus. I watched the first episode of that and I thought this is so bad.
It
The
looks bad.
acting is not great, or it's over the top, and
No.
yeah,
Nathan
I know,
Lane?
but Nathan Lane is like the best actor in the thing, right?
yeah.
Yeah. But is he Nathan Laning it? Like,
The show actually won me over. It's definitely a throwback to 80s sitcoms,
really?
Okay.
big time.
That's what I've heard as well. Yeah.
Like the Golden Girls, I've heard.
Yeah.
I've heard the name, but can you tell us like a quick summary of what it is about?
Yeah, so it is basically ripping off the Golden Girls premise, but instead of 3
Girls.
aging women, it's 3 aging gay guys who are
Okay.
decide to move in together, and instead of in Miami, it's in Palm Springs. But Nathan Lane's mother also lives with them, and
Sophia, yeah.
yeah, she's and she is sarcastic. Like they make no.
They're trying to deceive you.
They don't try to hide the fact that they're playing homage to Golden Girls at all.
Is there a laugh track?
Yes,
There is a laugh track?
there is a laugh track, I believe.
Now I'm watching this. Jesus Christ.
Yeah.
This sounds
But
amazing.
it won me over it because it feels so dated in one way, but then in another way they'll throw in a lot of gay references and stuff
Yeah.
too, right?
Yeah.
That you were never going to get in the 80s. So if
Okay.
you were allowed to do that in the 80s, that would have been the show, right?
Golden Girls is pretty risque for one at the time.
Yeah.
I'm sure not the way.
Not like
Golden
Golden Company,
Guys
but yeah.
They weren't talking
Yeah.
about cruising and
Golden Guys.
poppers and all that kind of stuff.
Yeah, going back to the laugh track, I haven't seen, and then mostly because I don't watch them, but I haven't seen a good laugh track show in a while. It's been a long time.
Yeah.
I'm hesitant to say this is good, Hector. I really am. I'm enjoying the hell out of this show, and it's not a show that I'll can't wait to see the next one. But if I'm bored, I'll
Yeah.
throw on an episode.
It
and
has to be better than Two Broke Girls. That's all. I mean, there's a lot of crap on TV right nowadays.
So, John, is his character when he was Pepper on Modern Family? Is it kind of a similar vibe?
I mean, Nathan Lane is always Nathan Lane, so to some extent, right?
I agree. Yeah.
You can crank it. You get murders in the building, Nathan Lane,
Yeah.
and then you get Pepper.
Well,
Nathan Lane.
true. Maybe a little less like Pepper.
Oh, that's cool.
That said, speaking of Modern Family, though, what's his name? Jesse,
Tyler Ferguson.
the redhead guy. Yeah. He makes a cameo in one episode of it as well.
Would Leslie Jordan be on this show if he was still alive?
Oh.
I can't say that they would or not because I don't know who that is.
He's a little Southern guy. He was on Will and Grace.
Oh, yes.
A little dandy, as they would call him.
Mhm.
A little Southern dandy.
Yes.
Yes.
Yeah.
And I mean that with love. Not
Yeah, and that show would embrace that too, right?
Yeah.
But they are aging gay guys too. They're not trying to make them like the cool hip ones, right? They're dated.
There's got to be a market for this, right?
well, that's a yes. Then he would fit in.
I would guess there's a market for it. Yeah, the same people. Yeah, I mean, Golden Girls is huge in the gay community still, so
That's what I mean.
they're going for that.
That almost felt like the catalyst for it, because it was like there was a huge calling for, because that during COVID got a lot of, like, the same way with The Office got huge resurgence.
Yeah.
Because it was comfort food. It was just like, oh my God, we're stuck in our house
My wife's watching it right now.
24 hours a day.
There's a stage version of Golden Girls now that travels around, and it's for guys in drag playing the characters.
Yeah.
But
Oh, cool.
But Golden Girls was good because, number one, you had 4 killers,
Yeah.
and then you had the writing.
Yeah. And no matter who you were, that's a great show.
yeah, and this is not Golden Girls quality. They're not as
That's
good
what I-
as actors as those 4. Let's establish that.
That's what it looked like when it comes up on the thing, on the top of the screen there. It's like, oh, okay.
Yeah. But I mean, Golden Girls wouldn't work today either, because with the laugh track and all that stuff. Like,
It's called Sex in the City. Yeah.
yeah.
So which platform is it on?
Disney in Canada. I would doubt it's on Disney in the States. It's probably Hulu.
I think it is. Disney
Hulu
Plus
here.
down here. Yeah.
Which you have to go through your Disney app to get to Hulu now. Here.
So that's always sort of been the case in Canada.
That BS.
Oh, has it? Okay.
Yeah.
Because they had the special back on Black Friday where you get it for 99 cents for a month.
Yeah.
That sounded great. So I signed up for a year. And then come February, hey, guess what? We're merging with Disney Plus. Oh, okay. Thanks.
All right. What else do you have, John?
In case people forgot my orientation, my next
What's up?
show is going to be RuPaul's Drag Race season 17.
Oh, come on the nose.
Oh, dear.
It was good. It was a great season.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I mean, there were a couple. The outcome was what I wanted the outcome to be, but it was also not shocking. Like, people saw the outcome coming 5 episodes before the finale.
So many jokes I want to make, but I'm being good.
Why are you holding back? I wouldn't hold
Okay.
back. Kyle.
What was the thing that you didn't see? A penis? Was that the surprise?
Well, because they're tucked away.
Oh. Keep going.
I don't know. I enjoy. I was not into RuPaul's Drag Race before coming out, but then coming out,
You had to be.
everybody was freaking. Have you seen this? Do you know this person? That? But then I got into it and I get the appeal. It's fucking funny. It's a funny
Yeah.
show, and these are talented, funny people.
I think it
Except
was
when
kind
they're
of
not.
across the board too, not just
Yeah.
the gay community or the
agree with that.
LGBTQ. I think a lot of people like it.
Yeah. Well, and especially now when it's like drag is sort of under attack again and stuff. So
Kind
it's.
of pushes it a little far. Yeah. Now, how was Nathan Lane in that one?
I'm guessing he must have been a judge in some season, because they always bring on
Cameo.
celebrity judges every.
Mm.
I would be shocked if Nathan Lane's never been on there, but this is where other gay people would slap me in the head now and say, like, of course he has.
Yeah.
This is the Golden Guy show.
Which network is that on?
I watch it on Crave in
Okay.
Canada. I don't know what it is in US.
It's probably Hulu.
Hey, John,
Yeah.
when was it aired? Did it air recently?
Yeah, the finale just finished like last week or the week before.
So I wonder if it was filmed after, because we all have a mutual friend here, Pat Francis, who was on Celebrity Squares,
Mm-hmm.
and RuPaul was one of the squares.
Oh, that's right.
Right.
So I wonder if it was filmed post that or pre that.
There was definitely overlap when that show came out, and that one was still running.
Okay.
Because I was watching new episodes when I was down in Brazil, and that's around when Pat's episodes came out, I
That's right.
believe.
Right.
It's streaming on Hulu here too. Here.
Hulu, okay.
Okay.
Yeah. And now their All-Star season's coming out in a couple of weeks. That franchise is huge. They have, geez, I think 10 countries or something have their own versions of it and stuff. And
Like American Idol, only.
drag.
drag.
Bigger, I would say. More international anyway.
Really?
Yeah.
Did you say Pat Francis was on Drag Race? Is that what I heard?
I think you're right.
He
Yeah.
played Nathan Lane.
Pat, rewind it. That's not what I said.
Love you, buddy.
Nice. All right. John, do you have anything else on your list?
That's my 4. Now I can toke up and make sarcastic comments at the rest of you.
Here we go.
My work here is done.
And we love you for that. Awesome. Thank you, John. So next we can go to Tony. What do you have in mind
Patrick?
for us? Yes.
I'm sorry. Can you do something first?
Sure. Oh, yeah, of course. Sorry. Okay, so where is it?
What are you asking him to do?
Did I have to? Okay, right here.
Oh.
All right.
Some farty bass.
Okay.
Okay.
So, all right. So now we can go to Tony. What do you have in store for us?
Okay. The first thing I wrote down was Daredevil, but I've already shared that.
Mm-hmm.
I love both leads in that show. It's
Mhm.
Vincent and Charlie Cox are perfect.
They really are.
And
Yeah.
I walk around all the time just talking like Vanessa. Vanessa. But they're just great. So I'll just touch on that since we've already. So let's get back to my Taylor Sheridan.
Oh, boy.
I watched the second season in 1923 and it was very good.
Really?
I enjoyed it
okay.
a lot. Yeah.
Now, is this the Harrison Ford?
Yeah.
Okay.
There was some issues with violence toward women that was kind of hard to take.
Mm.
I think it was a character choice, I guess, but
Mm.
it was a little rough at times, but it's a very good show, I thought.
Did you have to see 1922 in order to understand it?
That's good.
Yes.
That's one drag, folks. One drag.
That's what you get, one drag.
Good.
Yeah.
Wait till there's 2 puffs.
I still can't decide if Taylor Sheridan is a misogynist or not, because he treats women like shit, and then he makes them heroes. I don't know.
It's weird.
Still,
Yeah.
I know I mention this all the time. I just don't know where he's at, so I'm just going to watch the product. And
Now,
Feel like-
are these shows, the 23 ones,
Mhm.
are there any laughs or any smiles or any happiness?
Is there a laugh track?
It's 1923 in Wyoming, or
So, no. Okay.
no. And Harrison Ford, he's not really a laugh, right?
Good point. Yeah. Does he wear the earring?
No.
No? Okay.
Does he fly a plane?
I won't.
Does he crash the plane?
He's good in it, though.
Actually, to continue on your Taylor Sheridan aside, I started Lioness Special Ops Season 1.
Oh.
Uh, I'm at episode 2,
Uh-oh.
and I want to strangle the teenager so bad.
Well, that's just.
Jesus. So I don't know, because like the special ops part is really good so far, and I'm wondering if I should just skip the family parts and stick to the special ops parts.
Yeah.
Oh, I know who you're talking about now. Sorry, it took me a second. I think you should stick with it. I think you'll like it.
Okay, because that character.
That's one that I was saying where he does kind of lift up women in that one. The women are empowered. Yeah.
Is the teenager a girl?
Yes,
Oh, Jesus.
and she's insufferable. Not because she's a girl, but holy shit. At some point, she says, what does she say? She says, because her dad is white and Zoe Saldana is the mom, so she's like mixed race, and she says something like, I don't want to discuss this with a white male or something. And I I think I told my screen to go fuck itself. And
Just flipping off the TV.
Right, exactly. Snap my laptop in half and flush it down the toilet. Oh,
my.
Christ.
Just extra teenagery kind of
Yeah.
writing. Gotcha.
I don't know. I'm at a crossroads, I guess. I don't know. I'll probably keep going, but yeah. And actually, I'm sorry, I'm going from tangent to tangent. I think I figure out the best way to enjoy Letterkenny, because I mentioned Letterkenny the last TV episode.
Oh, yeah.
The Stewart part, like the goth guy and his gang of assholes, I skip those parts because they are not funny and they just annoy the shit out of me. So
Yeah, they make like rockers look like idiots. Right? And look, I went to high school with a bunch of people who totally fit that. But I was, if by listening to rock music, you're a rocker, I was, but I was like, not that.
Yeah.
The hockey guys are funny though.
I like Shoresy better than Letterkenny.
Yeah, I can definitely see it.
Yeah.
Do you guys recall Mr. D, the Canadian?
Yep.
Oh, yeah.
Jerry D.
That got to a season with a librarian character. But it wasn't the fact that he was a librarian character. It was that the character was so bad and so fucking annoying.
Yeah.
I was done with the show after that.
Yeah.
I couldn't do it. And he could have been a teacher. It wasn't the librarian thing. He was just so fucking garbage. The writing was not funny. He was terrible delivering it. But so I get what you're saying about the goth people.
I don't know if it's a Canadian thing. I know it's American and British and whatever else as well. But Mr. D did well here. And I think once somebody like the CBC or something has success, they want to keep going, even if the writing's not there or the characters aren't being developed or aren't funny or what have you. They just want to
Push it.
It's like because they know it's numbers. So
yeah.
All right. So sorry for the interruption, Tony. Please continue.
Well, let's go. That's what we do. Okay. Well, we'll go to my everything else is apparently I've been watching a lot of Max. So
Okay.
I got a chunk of Max stuff. Let's start with the Righteous Gemstones final season.
Oh.
I've been enjoying that. I love Walton Goggins. That's a prize from Alabama to everybody. Walton Goggins is
Fuck. Why didn't I mention the White Lotus in my shows? Anyway.
Oh,
Yeah.
blew it. Maybe it'll come up.
that's
there
one I'm
you
going to
go.
watch soon.
Yeah. He's going to host Saturday Night Live.
Yes, he does.
I saw that.
Yeah. Second last
That'll be
episode of the
good.
season.
Mm.
Okay.
Yeah, that'd be good.
So that's a great show. This is last season, like I said. It's about 2 or 3 episodes in. Speaking of 2 episodes in, I started watching Last of Us.
Mhm.
Oh.
Mm.
Not going to say anything about that.
The
just
first
that I'm
season?
watching it. The second one.
The new
I
season.
started the second
The new
season.
season. Yep.
Well, it was on my list, so we might as well talk about it.
Okay.
I mean, there is this big. I mean, we have to spoil it. It's very difficult to talk around it. So
Spoiler warning.
There we go.
all right, okay. So if anyone who hasn't played the game didn't see it coming, I'm sure. So Pedro Pascal gets killed horribly, but
Yes.
the thing is. Okay, I wasn't sure about the casting for Ellie, Bella Ramsey, and in season 1, and in season 2, I'm even less sure. I didn't like episode 1 at all, but episode 2 was really good because there is also a massive invasion of the city in episode 2, which is not in the game, by the way. So they completely added that, and that scene was awesome, but it felt like weird in the aftermath because we didn't get the feeling that there was a turning point in the battle. I mean, in my opinion, it was like massive slaughter, and at some point, you see humans finishing off the zombies on the ground. It's kind of happened quickly. But my biggest question is now that spoiler warning. Now that Pedro Pascal is out of the picture, or maybe he will come back in flashbacks, or I don't know. What I'm wondering is in which direction they will take the show.
Yeah.
Because I thought Bella Ramsey bounced off Pascal really well. Both of them together, it worked really well.
Mhm.
But if it's only Bella Ramsey,
She can't carry the show. Yeah.
I mean, call me names, but I don't know if she can. I don't know if the writing is there either.
Could they bring in a new lead?
I don't know.
Morgan Wallen. Time for him to
I don't know who that is.
It was lucky you.
Should I?
No, you should.
No.
Nah, you
No.
Okay. But like, I know that, again, it's not even a spoiler because they mentioned it in the episode. They will go to Seattle. So she will go with Dana, the young girl. I don't know. I'm going to keep
Well,
watching.
wait till they start the grunge band in Seattle and then give it a chance.
Yeah.
You never
Right,
know.
yeah. And now the zombies will come see their shows.
They start wearing flannel. You're like,
Yes.
ooh.
Are we talking the
ooh.
Letterkenny Last of Us hybrid? Like a
Oh my
Yeah.
God.
a matchup? Shores
cameo.
You'd have to assume they're going to go back in time. They're not going. You don't get rid of Pedro Pascal that quick.
Well, if they have flashbacks, I imagine that's where those shows always go, right? Like Lost did that for
Yeah.
it rode that wave for 6 seasons, I think, at least.
Well, I mean, yeah, as you say, Tony, I mean, you have him. So it would be like madness to, not to use him.
Yeah.
So my guess is flashbacks galore. But I'm going to keep watching, but I'm curious to see how things will turn out.
Same.
Those are some fast zombies too. They're on Mountain Dew or something.
They were. Yeah, that's right. Yeah.
I've never seen zombies move like that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They were faster than like 28 Days Later or World War Z. They were.
I was
fast.
going to say, now they're releasing a
Oh,
new
that's true.
28 years later.
Yes.
So the timing was, you can't say that was not coincidental. That was
It's like that wave's coming
Yeah.
back.
Yeah.
But
Is this show like Walking Dead kind of? Kind of.
Maybe.
It wasn't different enough to please me, Kyle. I would say that
Okay.
because I got sick of Walking Dead
Yeah.
before it ended, and then everyone was telling me how better The Last of Us is going to be. But it's the same premise that you're going to run into the ground all the time. That it's not zombies that are the problem. It's people.
Exactly.
And once you establish that, then it becomes boring. But
The real monsters are inside the wall.
Yes.
yeah,
Yeah, I
Yeah.
bounced after season 2 of The Walking Dead.
Really?
Yeah. Yeah,
Oof.
there was, I think it was season 2 or season 3. I'm not sure. I remember the half season, nothing happened at all. And there was a full shootout for like 5 minutes of the last episode.
Yeah.
It was like they were coming out of the barn, I think.
yeah. The firm season was very divisive. I liked it, but I get.
I bailed right after that. I was like, fuck this. I'm not going to watch a bunch of, people mope around in a barn or in a
It was
farm,
awful.
on a farm or something. Screw that.
What season was it with the guy from Watchmen? He was like the leader.
Jeffrey Dean Morgan?
Yeah.
It was,
Yeah.
That was 4 on.
Yeah.
I gave up when he killed Glenn. That's when
That
I
was-
that's when I
that's
ended up
so
with
I
this
think
whole-
I'm going to say that was the same spot I stopped. Was that
I think a lot of
season
people did.
4 or 5?
even later. I think like 6.
He
Okay.
started strong. I thought it was a good character for a while.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then they peter out and crap
He
them
petered out.
yeah.
Yeah.
Well, wasn't there a writer's strike in between there at some point?
Yeah, I believe there was. Yeah.
That's possible. Because I read most of the comics, and I remember the first 30 issues, really, good, drawing quality, lots of detail and all that. But by the end, because I think they made it wasn't it like 200 issues or something?
Yeah.
By the end, it was like, something drawn on a napkin in a restaurant or something. It was complete garbage.
Mhm.
So once the original showrunner left, it was kind of downhill.
Yeah.
Oh, that's right.
7 or 8
Yeah.
years.
Yep.
I never watched it, but if you ever need a good comedy or just looking for something like on backup, Andrew Lincoln was in a UK comedy called Teachers,
Yeah.
and it's brilliant.
That is a good show.
The first 3 seasons are brilliant, and then
They kill Glenn.
it gets weird, but it's it's just like people come, he leaves, and but yeah, 1, 2, 3 are great.
That
They're
sounds
great.
familiar.
Yeah.
It's not the American version. It's not actually, it's not there was an American show called Teachers. It's not
It's not that show.
the same show. It's a different show, but the British one that he was in the early 2000s is great.
And yes, so Tony, what did you think of The Last of Us now that it's spoiler city?
Well, I didn't. I'm one of the few that had never played the game, so I had no idea.
I've never played the game.
So it took me by surprise,
I'm sure it did.
big time. I just kept thinking he was going to get out of it like he always does, and he did not. And that woman is brutal.
Well, yeah. In the game, she looks like a rugby player. On the TV show, she's like 5 foot nothing, 100 pounds soaking wet. But in the game, she's she's built like a linebacker. So
Well, I have to assume that when you play this game, it just has little vignettes or something. I mean, between games, you have a little movie
thing,
or
yeah.
something.
yes, some cut scenes.
scene.
But the thing is, in the game, you also play as Abby for a few scenes as well, for a few
Okay.
parts. So that kind of mixes the point of view. So that's interesting. All right. So what else do you have, Tony?
One more Max thing I'm watching. I just started was the latest season of Hacks.
Yeah.
I think I've watched 2 episodes of that. I enjoy that show. It's good.
Nick is a big fan.
I think it's the final season. Yeah,
It is.
I would, if Nick was here, I would assume he would have had it.
Yeah. I saw it too.
What did you think, Mike?
I liked it. It wasn't my favorite season of the 3. I would say that was probably the second, which for me was compared to Nick. Actually, Nick, I don't think cared for the second season as much as the first one, because he called it more of like a rogue comedy, and it is.
Yeah.
All 3 seasons are great. I mean, this one, the characters are established and their motivations and why they're doing what they're doing. You already know. But yeah, I mean, Jean Smart's awesome. And, and I can't remember the other character, the actor's name, but she's great too. And, but yeah, I liked it. It was easily watchable and it wrapped the story up well, or did it? Who knows, right?
Yeah.
So, yeah.
It's good. It's good. That's about all I got.
All right. Thank you, Tony.
You're welcome.
So, Mike, it's your turn.
Nope.
What?
Dude.
Jesus.
Yeah, sorry.
Wow, I'm slipping. Maybe you guys should be hosting. All right. Okay, so Mike, what do you have for us?
Okay, I'm going to go quickly through the first 3 just because I mentioned them in the last one. I've just finished them up. So Saint-Pierre, which is a Canadian drama, I finished that and it was good. I'd recommend it. I think we talked about it, Hector. You were talking about maybe showing it to your dad. Yeah, it's enjoyable, and Alan Hocko's a kind of a well-known Canadian actor at this point who, if you liked Republic of Doyle, and I think you would probably appreciate this as well. I finished North and North. I think I hadn't finished that at the last episode, and now it's actually on Netflix. And I remember at the time I said I feel like this is kind of like a cross production with, I thought maybe TVNZ, because there were a couple New Zealand actors in it, and that still could be the case, but it was okay. It's one of those shows that I think the first season lays the groundwork for the community, the setting, the characters, what the main character's ambitions and what the problem and solutions are for her. But it's good. I mean, and she's great. Her name is Anne Lamb.
Okay.
Lamb, I think, or Anna Lamb. She's very good in it, and yeah, it's worth seeing. I wouldn't say it's great, but again, I think season 2, hopefully they can kind of build upon that.
Is this the show about none of it?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah, and it's on Netflix now here in Canada, so I'm going to assume that
We have it here, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
That was my next question.
Toronto Law and Order. See, criminal intent. That I haven't finished that, but season 2 has started, and it's the same as the season 1, and it's that what's his name, Detective Graff. He's that moody, thinking kind of detective, right? So it's good. It's I love it because it's scene spotting for me, right? Being in Toronto,
Yeah.
and very loosely based on some kind of well-known Toronto crime. So, it always kind of ties back to that.
Okay.
But my favorite show that I ended, the season that I had been on, was Son of a Critch. Season 4 just ended. It ended on kind of a down note, not a spoiler. I think if you've watched the first 3 seasons, you probably see where season 4 is heading. But it's brilliant because the main character, Mark, is getting older. And I mentioned this on the last one. It's kind of a family show for us because my son is the same age as Mark's character in it. And it's set when I went to high school at the end of the 80s. So it's, it all kind of ties in perfectly. And again, if you're looking for a kind of a fun family comedy, and I say family comedy, it can get a little deep at times, nothing major. The CBC isn't NBC or ABC or CBS. Like they'll push the envelope a little bit. It's worth it. And again, that's kind of like in North and North where the first season wasn't great, but it laid the foundation. And season 2 just got better and season 3 got better. And I think season 4 is probably the best of the 4 so far. So, well done CBC because I think they've done a good job with that.
Okay.
So getting on to newer shows, I'm going to kind of go from to my favorite.
Okay.
So the BBC, this wasn't a BBC show, I don't think. I think it was a Sky show. We were looking for a half-hour comedy. We always like to have one in the chamber that if we finish a drama or something, we can, or if we just want something funny for a half hour. There was a show called The Cockfields, and it was a British show, and that was their...
Tell me more.
Well, it was their last name, so don't get too excited. And it's just Diane Morgan was in the very first season, which I think was 2018 or 2019. We started with that, and the first season's quite funny. It's about Diane Morgan and her partner, who's played by a British comedian called Joe Wilkinson. They go back to the Isle of Wight because that's where his family lives, and his family is just a little, it's a little chaotic, a little quirky, but it's quite cute and it's fun. And I think the first season was actually only like 3 or 4 episodes. But then season 2, clearly like Diane Morgan's like, I'm not doing this again because it became like a whole new cast. His girlfriend, like he had clearly broken up with her between season 1 and season 2. And I think we made it the first episode and I was like, I'm out. So, the first season is okay, but if you're looking to expand upon that, I wouldn't go with that. So yeah, The Cockfields, it was 2019. That's when it started. So,
all right.
Now, this show, Nick. So am I saying that Nick's joining us?
Well,
Eventually.
the video is still loading.
Somebody called Loading Videos joining us in the
Yes.
chat. So this show was a 3-part BBC documentary, and each episode is about an hour long, and it's called Boy Bands Forever. Now, I love I don't know. Oh, I almost got that.
That's quick.
I almost said I love boy bands.
Yeah.
I love the BBC. I love a good documentary, especially a music one. I did not care for this. First episode I actually really liked because it starts kind of the early 90s. So if you think about that, and they basically say that, and because it's the BBC, it's definitely BBC or British centric. So they talk about how New Kids was huge at the time. And, the Brits are not strangers to boy bands and girl bands, right? Spice Girls, Bay City Rollers, what have you. Some would argue the Beatles, they're wrong. But Boy Bands Forever starts about 90, 91, and it starts with Take That. There was also another, there was another boy band at the time called East 17, who I don't think made any kind of waves in North America, but they were huge in Europe and huge in Britain. And it's kind of, that typical, like here's, they're parallel lines in the music industry in the early 90s. Take That just kept getting bigger. And then E17 kind of comes to a grinding halt. So it's, being set up and then spit up and shoot out, shoot up and spit out. Sorry for one way. Uh-oh, my screen just died.
Oh,
can you guys hear me?
Yeah.
Oh, hey, you're back. Yay.
Chaos Night.
Chaos Night. But the saving grace of the first episode and actually the whole season is the talking head that they have from Take That is Robbie Williams. So no other members of Take That are interviewed in it except for Robbie.
Do you know why?
I don't.
Okay.
And obviously if there's one you want, it is Robbie. So having him
yeah,
is quite good. The second season goes into like the later 90s. And again, they kind of sprinkle NSYNC and they sprinkle Backstreet Boys, but they don't actually focus on them. They focus on these other British bands, like this band called Five, again, who made no headway outside of, the UK and Europe and maybe Asia. It did that trope where documentaries where it's like, okay, so it's a music documentary. It's like, and at the time, the political climate was this, right? And it's like, it doesn't matter, right? It's not Nirvana coming out at the start of the 90s when, at the end of the Reagan and Thatcher years, right? It doesn't matter. Some three guys that all have gel in their hair, singing and dancing, is not a reaction to Margaret Thatcher. I'm sorry.
Yeah.
They're not related. But they try to make that connection, right?
Okay.
So I didn't care for it. It does so the end of the third episode, Take That reunited about 15 years ago. And it kind of goes back to that. So you can kind of see that whole cycle of, because Take That actually has like Gary Barlow, who writes these great songs, and Robbie obviously being a megastar. So, someone like Nick, our friend Nick, who's just joined us, he might enjoy this, but I think there's so much of like the unknown to the outside of the British market that, like the European market, they're not going to care.
So were you saying, Mike, that it's only for B&U, really?
I didn't love it. I liked the first episode, so I'm just because of Robbie and you and I being big fans.
Oh, of course.
It's okay. So I wouldn't recommend it. But again, if you're a Robbie fan or you haven't seen it and you love Take That or something, knock your socks off.
Now, you mentioned, Mike, that on the show that they kind of politicize Take That or some of the boy bands. I feel like that's a problem in these documentaries about musicians that, it's like this contemporary analysis that doesn't apply really to them. You know what I'm trying to say?
Yeah, it's just like a date stamp. It's like, hey, you may not remember when that song was released, but you probably remember when, this happened in John Major became the Prime Minister of the UK. And it's like, yeah,
sounds
they're not
like
related.
They didn't have that much material to work with, so they had a scene build with what they had.
Well, one of the other big talking heads is Simon Cowell. Simon Cowell is in the second and third episode. He's in it a lot because he was a big part of that, right?
Yeah.
So he's sitting with his, clearly his teeth that have been done in Turkey or wherever he got them done. And so I tried to make John laugh there. It's not, and he's got some insight and stuff, but I mean, he'll tell you, it was a way to make money, right? And a lot of it's about the mental health of like these people being, used and discarded to the side once they're, because boy band, if you think about it, the typical boy band lasts maybe 3 years, 4 years tops. And yeah, it was fine. It tried to say a lot in 3 hours. I don't think
3
it
hours?
to be. Well, because each episode's about an hour long.
A lot of padding.
Are you
Yeah,
trying
it's
to
a lot
say,
of
Mike, that they become boys to men?
They're barely mentioned in it. Barely.
Fuck's sake.
Yeah.
Voice tattle.
There's not a lot of British stuff, so yeah. And I got the joke, but
I know. Everyone's mad at me. No, I'm kidding.
Take that.
Take that. Yeah, good one. So I will tell you a good documentary, though. And again, a good documentary, the subject doesn't really matter because if they can make it interesting, actually, to someone who really doesn't care. And I'm not a huge gamer, but my son is, to the point where I was up at midnight trying to order the Switch 2 last night for him. Yeah. But I will tell you right now that there was a documentary that came out in 2020 on Netflix. So I guess it came out during COVID, but we didn't watch it till recently. And it's called High Score. And it's 6 episodes. Hector is nodding whether you've seen it. I loved it. Yeah. There's an episode about fighting games, and there's an episode about RPG games, and there's an episode about the first, LGBT plus game.
And it went in chronological order. Yeah.
It does. And it's so awesome.
Yeah.
Like it is
Nice.
really well done. The graphics, kind of the cut graphics are amazing. And they're not afraid. Obviously, Japan is a huge part of that, right? And they're not afraid to have Japanese talking heads with subtitles. And that's the one thing I find a lot of times when there's like a North American or a British documentary. If there's something foreign outside of it, like it's almost like, let's keep it to the North American slant or whatever. They don't. They just tell you the story as is. It is really well done. And if you're looking for a good documentary, I would recommend it. But if you're a gamer or even have a mild interest in it, especially the history of if you grew up playing games like in the 70s, 80s, 90s,
And today?
It's awesome. It's really well done.
Nice. Okay.
I'll tag along with that. My daughter was growing up. She got into those original consoles first. Probably just because I told her that you have to start with, the Atari and then work your way to Super Mario Brothers. Yeah, yeah. And we didn't have like an Atari, so we had what did I use? There was when the classic systems came. They were re-released 10 years ago.
Yeah.
So I got those. I got all three of them. I found them on before COVID. People were getting rid of them, and then as soon as COVID hit, they were skyrocketed because everyone was home. So I got them before, and I was like, "Oh, we're home. Let's just play." So she just ate all of that up. She was playing like the Mega Man games from NES and playing. I just showed her like old Battle Tanks games from Atari and stuff. I could spend Saturday morning doing this. So when that appeared on Netflix, I was like, "Oh, this is stuff we've already." She was well aware of what all this was. It's me talking about it and then her playing it every now and then. And then once Minecraft came in, then I was like, I'm out.
Yeah.
So it was a very brief period of time, but it was like full on. She was like engaged in those vintage games. So for like at the beginning of COVID, we were just like eating up all those old 80s, 70s, 80s games.
Nice.
Yeah. And it's just so well done. So
There's a graphic novel called Game-ish. I had to look it up as you were talking, by Edward Ross. I've read this, but same thing as you. I'm not, what you said about a topic that you may not be interested in. I'm not a gamer, but that comic was so well done and so fascinating. Same topic as what you're talking about. But yeah,
it's
it's like
good to know. I always like a
good.
good. Yeah, I like a good graphic novel.
You're not a gamer, but you're game-ish. I gotcha.
Yeah,
I'm a game adjacent.
I'm a game. Yeah, I'm not opposed to my son getting the Switch. I'm kind of looking forward to playing it too, the new one.
And there is also a book about games and 80s stuff that is a complete piece of shit called Ready Player One.
Oh yeah.
That book fucking sucks.
That book does suck.
Oh,
Yeah.
I actually like the
saw the
movie better
movie.
than the book, and the movie's only
Well,
okay.
yeah, it was a very low bar to clear, but the book is dog shit. It's like, let's see how many references I can squeeze into.
Yeah,
a page.
they really like ham-fisted everything into that book, and
Yeah.
and it was just so like it was kind of like the same way that when my wife was showing me what was that Stephanie Meyer?
Twilight?
Yeah, the Twilight, and then the other
50
one with
Shades?
the 50 Shades.
Yeah.
Those two. She was reading them simultaneously back to back. She's like, I can't understand how people read this horse shit. I'm like, well,
Yeah.
And the
it's-
the world building doesn't make sense either. Like, don't get me started on this.
it was just the writing. The way that the writing was just really poor.
Yeah, it's garbage.
I've not read it, but you two are the first two that I've ever heard knock that book. So.
Yeah.
But I trust your opinions more than
no.
everybody else's.
Well, I mean, if you you're gonna have like references, of course, and I remember that. I remember that, and that's all it is good for because the characters are shit.
Yeah.
As I said, the world building doesn't make any sense, and yeah,
So would it probably be an age thing then? Like younger teenagers?
I don't know.
Not care about all that and be all right with it?
So when the movie came out, I had a co-op student who was about 17, and he was very excited about the movie. It was however many years ago at this point it was. So it could be an age thing.
But
I
it's
don't know.
weird, though, that teenagers would like it if the references are ones that
well, yeah,
Patrick and Hector...
It was like 80,
But they don't like it for the same reason.
Yeah.
They just, it's
Yeah.
a itch or...
Yeah.
The reason I didn't care for it is because it was a lot of references without any context. They were just thrown in for
yes,
just
also
being.
that, yes.
So maybe there's not the context for young readers. So it's just it's just the terms, and then they're like, "Oh, I'm going to go Wikipedia that later on."
Yeah.
Or just blow by it and just say, that's okay.
Yeah.
Whatever
Yeah.
you say.
I'm not sure, but that's the way I took it.
It's not good.
If only we had a young person on the board here. Oh, hi, Nick.
Yeah.
Okay, so Mike, what's next on your list?
Okay, I'll be real quick. Well, I'll be quick. I mean, so the two shows I have liked, and it's interesting because we've talked about network crime dramas in the past, and how they have a lot of
Sydney?
the same tropes, and So, but I have really taken a shine to Will Trent.
Oh yeah,
So we have it. The first two seasons are on Disney up here, and we've got Disney at the moment, and they're based on the Karen Slaughter books, which my wife has read, and we're currently in season 3, which is the one that's airing right now. It's interesting because I find season 3 is definitely more comical. I'm not familiar with the books, but there has been some very gruesome things I've almost found this season too. So, it's like the peaks and valleys, but I really like it. And, all the acting is pretty top notch. And for a network crime drama, like I think this is one of the better ones. And I really like some of the characters, and the acting is, it's really good.
I'll have to tell Angie about that because I think she did read the books when those came out. Was it like 8 or 9 years ago? It's been going on for the 2000s, but she read them and she raved about them. But then I think maybe she stopped writing, or she had a dip, and then she kind of fell out of it and read something else. But the show is supposed to be good.
Will Trent. Every time I hear that, I think it's the reporter on Ted Lasso.
Oh, yeah.
And isn't that name familiar?
The greatest hair.
I had it confused in my head for a while.
Yes.
And that might be coming back. That might be an upcoming episode. You never know, right?
I heard it is.
Yeah.
Probably should.
Another show that they should just stop writing.
Yeah.
If they can do it good,
why couldn't they
that'd
just
be great.
end it?
Yeah. If it's good. If it's not, then we'll all say that.
Yeah,
right?
Exactly.
Of course.
Well, yeah, because if it sucks, it sucks.
Okay, so my favorite show. Now, this is an interesting one because I don't think I've really ever done this. My favorite show is an Australian comedy, which I'll name in a second. But so I started kind of on season 3, which was the newest season. I have not watched season 2, and I did watch the first couple episodes of season 1, and Mutt and I have mentioned it in our group WhatsApp chat. But there's an Australian show called Fisk, and it is a comedy, and John might be able to add more to this. But again, I'm starting on season 3, but I knew the premise because I watched the first 2 episodes, I think, of the first season. My wife had seen them all. I hadn't. Season 3, I think, finished a couple months ago, but I'm just getting to it now. It's on Netflix here in Canada, and it's about a lawyer. Kitty Flanagan is an Australian comic, and she plays a lawyer who kind of didn't get disbarred, but was kind of discredited. She ends up signing on with this law firm, and it's just the cast of characters that, work in the office with her, hence, kind of an office situation. One of the characters I find kind of grating, and I think that's why initially back in season 1, I didn't care for it. But season 3, I think, again, is kind of like Son of Critch and how I talked about North to North. I think they had fleshed everything out. And by season 3, because the only reason I kind of watched it by accident with my wife, and I laughed a lot in the first episode of the newest season, and I stuck with it, and it was worth it. And I can't recommend it if you're looking for something, a half-hour sitcom that's clever, doesn't have a laugh track, and some really funny lines, and that's it.
Give it a shot too, because first going off, I was prepared not to like it. I was watching. It's an Australian show. I think I was badly burnt, so I couldn't do anything. I couldn't sleep, so I ended up putting on local TV and finding the show.
Sunburnt?
You said burnt like you were...
While you were in Australia, you mean?
Sunburnt. Yes, while in
Gotcha.
Australia, I was watching it. I was badly sunburned.
Was making sure.
Not in Yellowknife.
You can get a sunburn in Yellowknife. Good Lord, it's not winter 12 months a year.
Yeah, June 17th, right?
Anyway, watching it, she is such a dowdy lead character and sort of has no oomph or personality. So you're thinking like, oh my God, she's so annoying and flat of a character, but she's also no bullshit, and she wins you over with that. And and as Mike said, they sort of sink into their characters and understand their part of this show as it goes on, and it gets really fucking funny.
Yeah, it's really good. And if you're just looking to throw something in the chamber that's a half hour, you can throw it on, not really think about it, but you want to laugh. And you know what? There's one character. So the character that I found kind of grating is this character, Ross. She's supposed to be, right? I think that's the purpose. But it's brilliant in the sense that even in season 3, you kind of start to like, I kind of started to like her.
Yeah.
Because she has her purpose, and she, as this, she's even worse off than the main character, and it's just everybody's trying to build each other up in their own kind of way, and it's great. So
has anyone watched Superstore when it was popular there for a while?
I watched a few, yeah.
Yeah, I got into it during COVID, but there's a character on there that reminded me of Raj, right? That's her name?
Roz, yeah.
Roz, yeah. But she They started her out too obnoxious and almost like a Dwight sort of character, but then I think they tweaked it the same sort of way. So they had to give her some redeeming qualities. And
I know what you're talking about.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. And thank you, because I hadn't watched Superstore, but I know the show you mean.
So that show you talked about, Mike, lastly was Fisk?
Yeah, Fisk.
Okay.
Yeah, that's the character. That's her last name. I think it's Helen Fisk.
Vanessa,
is her character's name.
Vanessa.
Yeah. And I'll just quickly mention, really, because I know, and I don't want to take up much more time, but I have 3 YouTube channels that I've discovered that I really like, and I'll just explain them really quickly.
Please.
You're talking with Kyle.
One is called Raw Music TV. It is a heavy metal channel. But the guy, whoever's doing it, creates these little half-hour documentaries about whatever band it is, and they're really well done. And if you have if you want to know about Venom, but you're not that into Venom, this is the show. Like, he does a great job. They really are really.
Tom Hardy Venom?
No, not that one. No. The Geordie black metal band from the early 80s.
Well,
there you go.
Could they collaborate together, Mike?
You never know.
Collide?
I mean, they're both black, I guess.
Is he
In a
better
way.
than Eddie Trunk?
Oh yeah, he's definitely a European guy.
Okay.
And it's funny because you know how sometimes you see something on Instagram or YouTube and you're like, is that an AI voice in the background?
Oh, the worst.
I thought it was. And then you actually see him and you're like, oh no, that's him.
He just has that kind of voice.
Yeah. But it's really good. Like, he's very knowledgeable, and it's a really succinct, like, half hour about a band, and really good.
What was the name again?
It's called Raw Music TV.
Raw Music TV. Okay.
All right.
The second channel I have is a British guy. His name is Danny, and he has hundreds of thousands of subscribers. He has a channel called Rate My Takeaway, and he just goes to, like, fast food places throughout the UK, not like chains, and rates them. So he'll go in, he'll buy like 3 dishes.
I heard that too, but
Yeah, John, rate with a T.
they were taking away apple pies or something. I don't know.
Yeah. And so I am going to the UK this summer, so it's funny because I'm kind of trying to keep my eyes open for, like, these little gems that, are like these mon pop.
Yeah.
that's exactly what I'm doing with Canada. I'm going on YouTube to find Canadian restaurants that are
For sure. So, but he's very likable, and he's very funny, and it's really well done. But my favorite one, and I know our friend Kyle, I don't know if how many people know, is a drummer.
Sorry, give us the name again of that second one.
Oh, it's called Rate My Takeaway.
Yeah,
RATE,
yes.
My
Okay.
Takeaway. Yeah.
Okay, thank you.
So that's why I spelled it out, John.
Yes.
And the last one is called Drumeo.
Oh,
And it's,
God, yeah.
So
good.
I knew it. So I don't know if you guys know, but Kyle's a drummer. And I stumbled across this because they have a whole bunch of videos. They do gear video. I'm not a drummer, and I don't play one on TV or anything, but Drumeo, it's for drummers, right? But they have this reoccurring series that they do where they have a drummer come in. So they recently had Mike Portnoy, who was the drummer in Dream Theater.
Oh.
So he came in and they played him a song that he didn't know. And the song happened to
Is he
be...
in Faith No More too for a
He
bit?
could have been.
he could have been. Yeah,
okay,
he's been
sure.
around. So
Yeah.
And they played him Shake It Off by
Taylor.
Now, believe it or not, he did not know who it was.
It's amazing when they don't know these songs.
Yeah. So they play it without the drum track. So they play the music and the vocals and all that. And then they ask them to create the drum track. What would you do with this, right? Or what do you hear? So he does, and they go through it like 2 times, and he breaks it down, and you see him charting it out and what have you.
Wow.
And then and he's like, is it Beyonce? Is it Katy Perry? And he doesn't say Taylor Swift. But anyway, they eventually tell him, and they actually play what it sounds like. But it is so cool because there's so many other episodes of all these other drummers, and they'll come in and they'll play something they have no idea what it is. And again, without the drums, and then they have to, and it's really well done. And it's really cool because, like, there's some amazing musicianship that you just don't think, or like they come to it with a different aspect. Yeah.
I've had friends send me links to some of those episodes, and yeah, like you said, I'm not a drummer. I've never been even inclined to pick up a set of drumsticks, but it's a fascinating show.
Mm-hmm.
Inside to watch, yeah.
Yeah.
I don't even know how they got in I think just looking up other music things on YouTube, but yes.
I think that's how I found it too.
it appeared in my feed, and then I just got hooked on it. And so for like the last 6 weeks, I've been just, the Andy Summers one. The oh my goodness, Mellencamp's drummer.
Karen
Aronoff.
Yeah.
And then one of them was doing the Mars Volta song. And he's like, I don't know what he's doing. But then, you see them write out the tablature, see them write out the
He's
chord
crazy
structure.
with that.
It's awesome. You
really
don't have
cool.
to be a drummer to appreciate it. It's great to see how, because you just think a drummer is just sit and practice and then they just do everything off the hook. And some do, but they also know how to just put pen to paper and then chart it out. Yeah. And it's a process.
Yeah,
They're smart.
It's
really cool.
Yeah, where they have actual, like, Liberty DeVito from Billy Joel.
Yeah.
They have him play a Billy Joel song, and he'll break down, like, the parts that he does in the song and tell you where it came from and how it really started. It's more drummery part for that part, but it's just interesting to hear the history about these songs. And
yeah, they don't try to get too techie because it would turn too many people off. It's enough that everyone can. It's techie enough, but enough that everyone would appreciate it.
Yeah.
So
good call.
Good one.
Yeah. Awesome. Great recommendations. Okay, so that's it for you, Mike?
Yeah, sorry.
No, that's okay.
All the people skip that.
No.
Chapter of the podcast.
On the contrary, YouTube recommendations are a great addition to the TV section.
I think it was Kai. Or no, I think it was you because it was the Freddy Fingers, right?
Bobby
I think you were
Fingers.
the first- Well, Bobby Fingers, yeah. And you know what? I love the fact that has started that with, when we chat, because it is accessible to all of us and every one of, the listeners, right? So I think it's great. And there's so much great stuff. Yeah.
Yes, absolutely. All right. Thank you, Mike. So next
And
up.
I just fact checked. Portnoy had no affiliation with Faith No More whatsoever.
But
it doesn't sound unreasonable.
No.
Yeah.
It would do.
All right. So
Patrick?
thank you for sabotaging the show, John, and then fixing it yourself. Well done.
Here, I'll fix it. And I'll fix it before you forget, Patrick.
Oh, yeah, yes. Jesus. Okay. Thank
No,
you.
Mike Portnoy charted that out, and he wants to do like
He's actually an ugly kid, Joe. That's what
syncopated.
Fact check.
This is the end of part 1 of the TV section. Stay tuned for part 2 coming up soon. Thanks.